All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your Night of Champions review and SmackDown review. I'm gonna do both in this one. Give Night of Champions about 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 around there. Outside of the main event, Bloodline stuff, there wasn't really much to really get excited about. Maybe Cody and Brock a little bit. That's pretty much it. Everything else didn't really care for. Best match easily was main event, but that was more storytelling than the match. I know a lot of people like the AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins match, but it was just a random match. They just met in the finals, so they just happen to be facing each other, and there's no story there. Because wrestling, you need characters and storyline. It makes the matches matter more when you're invested into the storyline. You're invested in the characters and shit. So yeah, outside the main event, a lot happened. And the same thing on SmackDown. Outside the Bloodline stuff, pretty much a boring fucking SmackDown. So yeah. All right, let's get to it. Night of Champions. First match, Seth Rollins versus. Oh, okay, I gotta talk about this. So this guy he became world champion today, right? Or yesterday. So this is what he was wearing on his entrance. You can't take this guy fucking seriously as world champion wearing bullshit like this, man. Just had to say that. He always wears stupid shit like this all the time. All right. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the new world heavyweight title in the finals. Rollins hit a sling blade on AJ, and then Styles suplex Rollins into the corner. AJ drove Seth face first into the mat for a 2 count, and then AJ hit a reverse DDT for a near fall. Seth hit a buckle bomb into he buckle bombed AJ into the corner, and then he hit a frog splash for a 2 count. Seth hit AJ with a reverse DDT and Falcon Arrow. It was a cool looking move for he got a near fall. AJ suplexed Seth onto the apron. He like twisted him in the air and he fucking dropped his ass on the apron and shit. And then Seth hit AJ with the suicide dive. And then he like landed awkwardly on his knee or some shit, so he starts selling a knee injury from this point on. And then AJ he applied the calf crusher. Seth elbowed AJ to get out of it. And Styles hit a pedigree for the 2 count using the boss's movement. Rollins super kicked AJ. He was going for the phenomenal forearm, and Rollins super kicked him in midair. And then Rollins, he hit the pedigree this time, and then the curb stomp for the win. So Seth Rollins is the new world heavyweight champion. Some people thought Styles was gonna win, but that would have meant AJ and the OC all moving back to Raw. They just got drafted to SmackDown, so that made no sense. Rollins was the overall favorite, pretty much odds-on favorite to win. So I guess he can feud like with all the main guys on Raw, the top guys, pretty much babyface, Cody Rhodes, or lastly on SmackDown now. Be good. Feud with Brock Lesnar. We've already seen that feud, so I guess maybe Drew McIntyre returns heel if he comes back. So we'll see who he feuds with. And then AJ, I don't know who he's gonna feud with now, so we'll see. SmackDown. Maybe AJ Styles and Gunther. That could be a good feud. All right. Next up, we got. Oh shit. Scroll down here. Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. Trish threw Becky into the steps. And Trish hit a tornado DDT for a 2 count. Trish hit a neck breaker for a near fall. And then Becky Lynch hit an exploder suplex. Becky hit a leg drop for a 2 count. And then Trish hit a spine buster for a near fall. Becky hit a leg drop for a 2 count, and then Becky applied the Boston Crab. Trish Stratus got to the ropes to break the submission. Trish hit the chick kick for a near fall. Becky applied the armbar, and then Trish grabbed Becky's hair to get out of it. Becky hit the rock bottom on Trish Stratus. She pinned her, but she was already close to the rope, so she got her foot on the ropes. The ref saw it, and then at the end of the match here, Zoe Stark pops up out of the from under the ring. She's a new NXT girl that got drafted to Raw. She attacked Becky while the ref was helping Trish out or whatever. And then Trish hit the Satisfaction for the win. So Trish Stratus gets the win. Looks like this is going to be dragged out for 1 or 2 more matches. So Becky Lynch could get her win back. So probably since they did this, it could be a tag match now, I'm thinking. Trisha and this Zoe Starks girl versus Becky and Lita now. So Lita comes back. Because Trisha's the one that attacked Lita when they lost the titles or whatever. So yeah, probably that's what they're gonna do for that one. We got next up Intercontinental title match, Gunther versus Mustafa Ali. Or Mustafa as they called Michael Cole was saying. Gunther body slammed Ali and then he chopped Ali. Gunther applied the Boston Crab. Ali fought out of it. And then Mustafa hit a neck breaker on Gunther. Then Ali hit a power bomb and a 450 splash for a 2 count. And then Gunther hit the power bomb for the win. Match wasn't too long. This was the expected result. Ali had no chance of winning, no shot. He only won the battle royal because it was in his hometown or whatever. Or he's like, or he's not. He doesn't live there anymore in Saudi Arabia, but he's like Saudi Arabian descent or whatever. His race. So yeah. So for next up, Gunther could he feud with on Raw? Because they have to set up a big match for him. Another big match at Money in the Bank since they're going to London. Drew's not back yet. He'll probably turn heel when he comes back. Maybe you could do Gunther and Brock Lesnar, but they're both no, they're both heels. Shit, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, he should have a big feud going into Money in the Bank, Gunther. All right, next up we got Bianca versus Asuka, the Raw Women's title. Asuka she tossed Bianca into the steps, and then she hit a German suplex on Bianca for a 2 count. Bianca hit a suplex, and then a springboard moonsault. Asuka drop kicked Bianca from the top rope for an ear fall. Asuka applied the armbar. Bianca powers out, and then she tried the same thing again, and Bianca powered out again. And then Asuka, she spit instead of so she had she always has the mist on her mouth or whatever. So she spit the mist on her hand, and then Bianca went for the KOD. So this way the referee couldn't see, and then Asuka rubbed the mist on Bianca's face. This was pretty smart on Asuka's part. So the referee couldn't see, and then she kicked Bianca in the head and then pinned her for the win. So we got a new Raw Women's Champion. So we'll see. They can't do a third match. How many times they got to do? They got to switch it up and not do this match. So I guess Asuka confused with Raquel Rodriguez now, or I think Ron and Shane are going to win the women's tag titles tomorrow on Raw. So yeah, he could do Raquel or he could do Io Sky and Asuka, but first they got to break up Damage Control with Bailey and Io Sky. So maybe that match won't happen until SummerSlam. Io Sky and Asuka. So yeah, see what happens. All right, next up we got. Oh yeah, right there. It's already on there. Rhea versus Natalia for Smackdown Women's title. Rhea won easily with like a riptide. It was like a 1 minute match. This was pretty much what it was supposed to be, a squash match. Not every match needs to be fucking like 20, 30 minutes fucking long. But Natalia has no chance. She's not at the top of the card anymore. So yeah, this is pretty much what it needed to be. All right, next up we got Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Cody came to the ring. He had a cast on his arm to sell the broken arm. Brock broke Raw this past week. Brock hit a belly-to-belly suplex on Cody. Cody hit the suicide dive. Then he hit the RKO for a 2 count. Cody hit 2 crossroads. He went for a third one, and then Brock countered it into a Kimura submission. Cody got to the ropes. Cody hit the crossroads for a 2 count, and then Brock hit an F5 for an ear fall, and then Brock applied the Kimura again. But this time Cody like passed out or whatever. So Brock gets his win. So now it's 1-1. They'll probably do a third match. Excuse is gonna be that Cody's arm was broken or whatever. So he's gonna be pissed off. He wants a rematch and shit. So it'll probably be Could be a street fight at Money in the Bank if they do the match at Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. We'll see if Cody's in the Money in the Bank, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, or they do Cody and Brock 3. So yeah, it's probably gonna be a street fight, or I'm thinking maybe last man standing. So we'll see, but it's gonna be a stipulation. Cody and Brock for next match. And Cody's gonna win. So we'll see what they do at Money in the Bank. All right, next up, we got Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns on his 1,000 days as champion versus KO and Sami Zayn for the undisputed tag titles. Solo hit a clothesline on Sami Zayn. Roman got the tag. Roman hit a suplex on Sami Zayn. And then Sami hits Solo Sikoa with a tornado DDT. KO and Roman tag in. KO hit Roman with a clothesline and a super kick. And then he hit KO with a clothesline of his own. KO hit Roman with the pop-up powerbomb for a 2 count. And then KO hit a frog splash, got a near fall. And then Roman hit a Superman punch. He got a 2 count. And KO hit Roman with a stunner. And then right after that, Roman speared KO, bounced off the ropes. And then Sami and Solo tag in. Sami hit Solo with a suicide dive. And then Sami hit Solo with a Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. And then Sami hit an exploder suplex and a Helluva kick. Roman broke up the pin. Roman went for the spear. It was intended for Sami, but Sami moved out the way and he hit the ref. So the ref's down now, and then Sami hit Roman with a Superman punch. This is great at the end here. Then he went for the spear. Roman countered with a Superman punch. And then KO, he hit Roman Reigns with a spear. And then the Usos come out. They bury KO with the announce table on the outside. And then they go for a super kick. It was intended for Sami Zayn, and he moved out the way, and they hit Solo. And then there's like a confrontation and shit. Roman sees this. Shit. And so we got this at the end. Great storytelling. Jimmy super kicks, or Roman gets in their faces, and he pie faces Jimmy, I think, once or twice. And then Jimmy super kick Roman. And then the Usos confront each other. Jay gets in Jimmy's face. He's like, "What are you doing, Us?" And then Jimmy said, "Yeah, I'm doing what he should have done a long time, Us." And then Jimmy super kick Roman again. This time he sends Roman to the outside. And then KO stunners the Usos leave. Then KO stunners Solo. And then Sami hit the Helluva kick on Solo for the win. This is fucking great storytelling at the end because he's sick of Roman's BS and all this shit. You know, they always do shit when Roman tells them to do. So yeah, and this is going back the 3 years ago during the COVID shows when it was the first year of the Bloodline. They were forming, like getting everybody in line. Jay was falling in line, and Jimmy, remember he had that nobody's bitch shirt, that T-shirt, and it took him a while to get with the program, to get with the Bloodline. So yeah, so fast forward 3 years later to now, pretty much doing the same shit. Jimmy ain't having it, man. Could be Roman versus Jimmy at Mind the Bank, or what I'm thinking is another one they could do is Usos versus Roman and Solo. So yeah, see what happens. It's fucking great storytelling. Why you need characters and storytelling in wrestling, y'all. Because if it's just matches with a story, it's pretty much fucking boring. All right, now let me review Smackdown 2 nights ago. Looking back in my notes here. Photos set up. All right. First up, we got Sheamus versus Austin Theory for the U.S. title. Austin Theory dropped Sheamus on the apron. Theory hit Sheamus with a blockbuster for a near fall. That's where he does the blockbusters. He does the rolling. He rolls on the ground and he pops up in the air and hits a drop kick or whatever on a blockbuster. Sheamus hit Theory with the Irish Curse backbreaker for a 2 count. Sheamus hit Theory with a power slam, got a near fall. Sheamus hit a knee to the face of Theory, got a 2 count, and then Sheamus did the beat to the Baldwin. It's called 10 beats the Baldwin. He never does 10. He did 25 this time. And then Pretty Deadly come from the crowd. They attack the Brawling Brutes, Rich Holland and Butch on the outside. And then Sheamus does 10 beats of the Baldwin, or he tries to do 10 on one member of the Pretty Deadly. And then I think he got to about 6 or 7, and then Austin Theory was behind him, and he rolled him up for the win. So Austin Theory retains the U.S. title, and Sheamus takes a loss. And then we got a segment in the back with the Bloodline. Everybody in the Bloodline's there. Paul Heyman, Roman. Heyman talks first. He says Roman wants to make it up to you, both of you. He's talking about the Usos here. You are personally invited for the 1,000-day celebration next week. Jimmy says he's leaving. And Roman says, "Where you going, man? You ain't going nowhere. Sit down." So a few seconds go by. He doesn't sit down, and Roman stands up. And then the camera zooms in on Jimmy and Roman. It's getting real tense right here. And then stand up to me. Make a good tough guy. Prove it. What's changed, Deuce? It's like when we were kids. I'll whoop you then. Then he says, "I'll whoop you now." This is fucking great. Ain't nothing changed. You gonna respect me. You gonna obey me. And then Jay pops up from the couch and he tells Jimmy, "Let's go, man. We'll see you next week, Oos. See you next week, fam." It's fucking great. If you didn't see this segment, go check it out. All right, next up we got Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi. Shotzi's Raquel's new partner because Liv Morgan's injured. And they faced Bailey. What was it? Yeah, so they faced Bailey and Io Sky. Shotzi hit damage control with a suicide dive. Shotzi hit a suplex on Bailey. And then damage control hit a double kick on Shotzi. And then Bailey tried to pin Raquel. And then Io landed. She went on top rope. I think she tried to do a drop kick, but she landed on Raquel's back, and at the same time she kicked Shotzi, who's on the other side, and then Raquel ended up pinning Bianca for the win. This was like a miscommunication thing, so it looks like probably do a few weeks of this stuff, and then Bailey will beat the shit out of Io Sky, and that's how that feud's gonna start. So yeah, but this finish was just weird though, because Io Sky could look like she could have broke up the pin or some shit. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, next up we got new guy Cameron Grimes in his second match on SmackDown versus Sean Titty Adonis, everybody's favorite Hit Row. So Cameron Grimes, he won like 2-3 minutes with a cave in or whatever. It's the move right there in the picture. He just pops up in the air and stomps on the guy's chest, or like a standing. It's like Finn Balor goes on top rope when he does the coup de grace or whatever, but this guy does it standing in the ring. That's pretty much the same type of finisher, feet to the chest. I'm not sure about this Cameron Grimes guy. Saw his promo on this show, but they showed it during his entrance. Not a really great talker, so maybe it'll take a few weeks for this guy to grow on me, but just don't see. I guess WWE sees this guy as a big star, but I don't see it right now. Just kind of boring on the mic, that to the moon shit that he says all the time. But maybe he could get better. It's early for him. And then after the match, Baron Corbin attacked Cameron Grimes. So they're going with the Baron. His first feud is going to be Baron Corbin. I don't know if he's gonna. Hopefully, it's a good feud, but I doubt it. Baron Corbin sucks. He's just pretty much a jobber guy. He's become the new Dolph Ziggler and shit. Just jobbing everybody. All right, next up, we got Bianca Belair. She comes to the ring. He says, "This is not the same Asuka I'm facing. This Asuka wants more than my title. If she wanted a rematch, all she had to do was ask." Asuka attacks Bianca, and then so yeah, that was pretty much it. Just to set up the match, and we already know what happened. Asuka won the title. All right, next up we got Rick Boogs versus LA Knight. Yeah. And then so Street Profits come out before the match starts. They go to commentary. Boogs dropped LA Knight on the announce table on the outside. LA Knight hit Boogs with the running knee. And then Knight hit Boogs with the BFT for the win, blunt force trauma. And then he grabs the mic, says, I just took out the trash. You're going to get smoked. That was pretty much it. So, and next week they showed one of the qualifying matches for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's going to be LA Knight versus Montez Ford. I thought both of them would be in the Money in the Bank match, so well, I guess not. So LA Knight should win. Clearly, he's a star on the rise. Fans like him. He's over with the fans. So yeah, LA Knight should win. And then we'll see who the other guys are in the match, Money in the Bank ladder match. All right. Karrion Kross segment in the back. He says a stubborn sees one path. Stubborn man, I guess. Got to write that part. Yeah, stubborn man sees one path before him. When a man becomes consumed by one goal, AJ, you should be asking, what kind of condition am I going to be in when I'm victimized by Karrion Kross? And then we got AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross in the match. So Scarlett grabbed AJ's leg while the ref wasn't looking, and then the Meechin girl came out. She chased Scarlett to the back. It's a fair one-on-one match. Kross hit AJ Styles with an elbow strike. Styles dropped Kross onto his knee. And then Kross hit AJ with a fisherman suplex for a 2 count. And then AJ hit Kross with a phenomenal forearm for the win. So another Karrion Kross loses again. I don't know what they're going to do with this guy. It feels like a waste of time. He hasn't done anything significance since he came back. So maybe you turn him babyface. I don't know what the hell they're doing with him because it's just random match after random match. So we'll see what happens with Karrion Kross. And then AJ Styles, like I was saying earlier, maybe he could feud with Gunther. He could be. Oh, no. Not on Raw anymore. Or in SmackDown. Gunther's on Raw. Oh, maybe Styles in Theory then. Styles could be the next challenger for Austin Theory. For Austin Theory's U.S. title, they could do that match at Money in the Bank, or I don't think who else Styles could feud with. Not sure. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Styles and Karrion Kross. I don't know. It's just feels like a lost cause right now. He just needs one feud to get back to like become a star, but they don't have nothing for him right now. It's just random match after random match. All right. Next up, another great segment, but the Bloodline KO show. KO and Sammy come out. Paul. So they're pretty much introducing him, and then Paul Heyman pops up. He says the tribal chief comes out when he wants to come out. And the Usos come out instead, and Heyman has a shocked look on his face. KO says, Sammy says we gotta help the Usos, and then KO says he's been right about everything he said. How Roman treats you, how you guys deserve better. Roman calls himself the head of the table, and then KO says I'm looking at the heart of that table. What do you think the Bloodline would do without you? That's not how he treats you. He treats you like you're disposable. You don't do anything unless Roman tells you to do it. You went from being the greatest tag team in the WWE in history of the WWE to Roman Reigns' errand boys. And then this pissed off the Usos. Jimmy says, then he just says, I am the tribal chief. I think they have Paul Heyman's got the best reaction. Oh no. Hopefully they have a picture of this. Oh yeah, right there when he said it. That's fucking great reaction right here. Shit. What do I have? And then so Paul Heyman looks shocked. Roman Reigns comes out. He gets right in the Usos' faces. First he slaps Jey Uso's mic away, and then he gets in Jimmy's face. He slaps his mic away, and then Sammy grabs the mic. He says, Roman, it's over, right? The Bloodline is collapsing, and it's all your fault. And Roman Reigns fucking lost his shit here. He got Sami Zayn's face. He slapped his mic away. And then KO's like, fuck this guy. Stunned Roman. And then a brawl broke out between everybody. Solo attacked KO and Sami, hit the Samoan spike on both of them. And then Roman speared Sami. And then so the Usos got the tag titles, both sets of tag titles. Jay gives his titles to Solo. And then it's time for Jamie to give them to Roman. He hesitates. He doesn't want to give it to him. And then so Jay tries to grab him. He doesn't want to give it to Jimmy doesn't want to give the tag titles to Jay, and then eventually he gives them to Jay, and then Jay gives them to Roman, and then Roman holds up all the all four of the tag title belts. We'll pretty much end the show. This is a great fucking segment. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out for SmackDown. That was the only thing worth watching for SmackDown, pretty much. Same thing for Night of Champions. So yeah. That was pretty much it. Yeah, so best match, Night of Champions was the main event easily. Worst match was probably Rhea Ripley and Natalia. Give it about a 5 out of 10. Night of Champions for the pay-per-view. So yeah, that was pretty much it. See ya.